Welcome to this Art of Work Academy video on critical controls. We will be exploring how to look beyond the basic compliance checklist to ensure real safety and control effectiveness. Due diligence obligations take leadership duties beyond simple management. We must focus on knowing, understanding, and resourcing our controls, as well as monitoring, complying, and verifying their effectiveness. Legislation is evolving. We are moving from a focus on whether a system is documented to testing if a control holds up under actual production conditions. When challenged on due diligence, you must demonstrate the reliability of your controls, how they function in the field, and how you manage performance drift. The Macondo disaster is a stark reminder that assurance processes can record safety, while critical human factors and physical design flaws remain unverified. In the case of Ports of Auckland, the court highlighted that activity counts alone do not discharge due diligence. We must look at qualitative effectiveness. Drift appears in 4 signatures: absolute fragility at a low level, gradual erosion, the gap between expert and frontline views, and spread across different contexts. Compliance audits often document work as intended but remain blind to work as done, where adjustments are made in real time to meet production targets. The executive dashboard illusion persists when weekly green ticks hide the silent degradation of controls that can lead to catastrophic incidents. There is a distinct compliance gap between the administrative paper trail of work as disclosed and the complex reality of work as done at the front line. Safety should be done with people, not just to them. We need to bridge the perspective gap between the robustness sought by designers and the alignment needed by operators. Relying too heavily on administrative controls creates a false sense of security. Robust engineering barriers are essential to prevent this default trap. Control effectiveness assessment shifts our focus from simply verifying the existence of a control to quantifying its reliability under actual operating conditions. The energy damage model provides a science-based framework, focusing on the uncontrolled transfer of energy and identifying hazards across 12 specific forms. Finally, remember that the hierarchy of control transitions from physical barriers to human-dependent measures, where relying on fallible processes carries increased risk. A control is a deliberate intervention that directly counteracts damaging energy. If it relies on humans to constantly remember it, that is a support, not a control. We must shift our mindset. The old compliance test asks if the documentation exists. The new effectiveness test asks if the control works under live conditions. A proper control effectiveness assessment must trigger an authorized response. This includes identifying critical controls and evaluating fragility across 4 dimensions. Reliability is defined by 4 dimensions: alignment, robustness, human dependency, and adaptability. These ensure that work is both effective and resilient. Dimension 1 is robustness. This reflects the physical hardness of a control and its inherent resistance to failure, as evaluated by subject matter experts. An engineering control loses its robustness when it requires constant maintenance and perfect organizational planning to remain functional. We evaluate alignment by looking at how a control helps or hinders the worker and the work itself, ensuring they are designed for the reality of the task. Human dependency assesses how much the control relies on human judgment or memory. High dependency often indicates a point of potential failure. Adaptability measures a system's response to change and its ability to recover from failure, which is vital for maintaining safety in dynamic environments. When building defensible due diligence, remember that audit-based compliance merely supports the system. True operational risk depends on real-world control effectiveness. We must evolve beyond administrative controls. Measure the operational reality by deploying multidimensional assessments that account for actual cognitive load. Case studies like Macondo illustrate that our assurance processes often capture paperwork while missing the critical design flaws threatening the operation. The court's findings in the Gibson case emphasize that simple activity counts are not enough. Due diligence requires proof of qualitative effectiveness. The process involves classifying controls, confirming energy interruption, and assessing performance through both expert and frontline perspectives. Finally, remember that CEA is not just another audit grade. It is an evidence-based explanation of where a critical control is fragile and why. Thank you for joining this exploration of critical control effectiveness. By moving beyond the checklist, we can build truly resilient systems that protect our people and our operation.